I'm Blair.
Julie. Melissa.
I'm David.
As parents, we would do anything for our children, wouldn't we?
Yeah?
Sure.
When we know that something needs to be done to improve our children's well-being, we jump on it. We make sure what they need is provided to them. Unfortunately, too few parents make sports a priority. That's not something you hear said very often. Usually it's, we should improve our children's education, or we should make sure that our children are doing their homework so that they don't fall behind in class. I contend that it is equally important to ensure that all of our children are actively involved in team sports from an early age. Too few of our children are having their physical and social and psychological needs met. According to the CDC, childhood obesity has tripled in the last 30 years. In 1980, among children from the ages of 6 to 11, the obesity rate was 6.5%. Fast forward to the year 2008, and that number had jumped to 19.6%. That means nearly 1 in every 5 kids you meet is obese. According to the Mayo Clinic, childhood obesity leads to adulthood diseases, such as heart disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, adulthood obesity, diabetes, osteoporosis, depression, and cancer. In addition to the problems in the physical realm, we have the social and psychological issues that are not being met for our children. Child psychologists agree that between the ages of 2 and 6, children need to learn to regulate their emotions by controlling impulses that they have due to fear or anger. By age 5, most children should be able to successfully play in groups and solve conflicts. Many children are lacking the necessary skills socially to handle these situations. There's a growing school of thought that a lot of this has to do with the increase in the use of video games, texting, things like email and instant messaging, where kids are not required to be face-to-face, not needing to interact in a personal way. Team sports are an excellent way to help develop positive traits in our children in both the physical and psychological social realm. Sports obviously provide exercise for our children. According to the Livestrong Foundation, healthy habits, or any habits that are formed in childhood, generally are carried on into adulthood. So if a child learns an active lifestyle, when they grow up, they're much more likely to live as an active adult and be healthy. Likewise, if a child has a sedentary lifestyle, they're more likely to be a sedentary adult. Active lifestyles help to prevent diseases and the health risks that I mentioned earlier. In the social and psychological realm, forcing kids to be face-to-face in team sports and interact with each other, it causes them to need to deal with the social issues that they'll encounter later on in life. They learn concepts such as citizenship and teamwork. They develop traits such as dealing with social success and peer relationships, leadership skills, and followership skills. They get a sense of initiative and turn-taking, self-discipline, and of course, sportsmanship. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services said that children who play in team sports grow up to be less likely to smoke, to abuse drugs, and to drop out of school in their later years. They are more likely to be academically successful and have successful careers in the long run. Children need to be physically active and develop psychological and social skills for later on in life. There is an epidemic in childhood obesity. That is without question. And there is definitely a new and growing problem in the social and psychological deficiencies that our children have. Sports, specifically team sports, help with both simultaneously and set them up for success as adults. Most children enjoy sports, and even more so, enjoy knowing that their parents are interested in what they're doing, no matter what it is. You said at the beginning that you would do anything for your children. Ask yourself now, are you willing to let them have fun? Any questions?
I have a question. At what age do you think it'd be most beneficial for kids to become active in team sports?
Well, like I pointed out earlier, the CDC said that the childhood obesity range that's the worst is from 6 to 11. So I think by that age, they definitely need to be active in sports. Below those ages, 4, 5, 3, obviously they're still developing motor skills and that sort of thing. So it's not as necessary, but certainly by age 6 or 7, they ought to be involved in active lifestyle and social interaction. Is that it?
I think so.
All right. Thank you.